driver and union organizer, was handpicked by Chavez to be his successor.
After Maduro came into power, and very shortly after that, the oil price collapsed.
Look at this chart. Crude oil is sitting at about $54 a barrel right now. Prices have been slashed in half.
You have this massive decline in energy prices. So now Maduro takes power. He does not have the kind of economy or checkbook that Chavez had, and he can't make investments in social programs.
Less than a year into President Nicolas Maduro's first term, protesters took to the streets and were met with gunfire, tear gas, and water cannons.
The demonstrations began 2 weeks ago. Thousands of students demanded government action to end violent crime waves in the country, stem inflation, and bring an end to shortages of necessities.
In the first decade of Maduro's time in office, Venezuela underwent the most severe economic contraction in peacetime of any country in the modern era.
Life under Maduro was grueling for the vast majority of Venezuelans, with rolling blackouts.
Medicine is in short supply, leaving many with treatable illnesses to die.
Staggeringly long lines for fuel in the most petrol-rich nation in the world. Hyperinflation and the monumentally steep devaluation of Venezuela's currency, the bolivar.
The currency is so devalued, some shopkeepers weigh the money rather than waste time counting.
During the Maduro years, there was starvation.
Maduro's citizens reported losing an average of 24 pounds of body weight in 2017, according to a Venezuelan university study.
Para pretender una crisis humanitaria.
Despite all that, in 2018, Maduro told the United Nations General Assembly that the humanitarian crisis was a fabrication.
2018 is really, I think, politically a turning point, because it's the first time that it's pretty much widely acknowledged that the government and Maduro has not legitimately won the elections.
More than 50 countries refused to recognize Maduro's 2018 re-election.
I swear to you, I will fulfill my promise and will dedicate myself entirely to recover the economic growth, to heal our economy.
United States officials called it a sham and an insult to democracy.
Over time, he started banning opposition leaders from running against him, jailing opposition figures.
This is all in the context of torture happening, disappearances. This was a brutal, brutal regime.
He used all the resources that he had in government and in the army to control Venezuelan people, to control protests.
In February 2019, then Univision anchor Jorge Ramos traveled to Caracas to sit down with the Venezuelan president.
I remember thinking about my first question because that was going to set the tone, and deciding to ask him about him being a dictator. And I told him, you're not the president of Venezuela, you're a dictator. Usted sabe, usted no es el presidente legítimo. Entonces, ¿cómo le llamo? Para ellos, usted es un dictador.
After calling him a dictator, Ramos showed him this video of young people eating from a garbage truck.
I showed Nicolas Maduro, look, this is what you've done. You are responsible for the hunger and for the poverty of these people. And he just couldn't stand it. So after minute 17, he stood up and he said, this interview doesn't work anymore, and then he left. They stole the equipment, they stole the video cards, they arrested us, they deported us. It was terrible for them because they wanted to project the idea of a democratic government, a legitimate government, and what they proved is that they were dictators.
When historians look back at the Maduro regime, they will see a period of decay, corruption, unbearable cruelty, and the degradation of Venezuelan society.
The rule of Maduro is terrible for the people of Venezuela. It's against the interests of the United States of America. He's invited in Iran and Hezbollah.
While Maduro has consistently denied any ties to the terrorist group Hezbollah, he's often touted close relationships with two crucial allies, Russia and China.
There are sanctions placed on his regime, and what we see is Russia, China, coming in to fill the breach, taking the opportunity to get into a part of the world that they see as America's backyard. One of the great tragedies of Venezuela is the massive exodus that the Maduro years caused.
Just over my shoulder here, this is the Venezuelan flag here in Mexico, and that's because the vast majority of these folks are from Venezuela. We're talking about one of the largest humanitarian crises in the world, and you've got millions that are hoping to get into the U.S.
This is the greatest refugee flow in the history of Latin America. About 8 million Venezuelans, which is a fourth of their population, have fled the country.
But this woman stayed.
Maria Corina Machado stands out for her bravery and for staying in Venezuela. She was able to bring together all the opposition figures and all the opposition movements.
After winning by a landslide in the primary, opposition leader Maria Corina Machado was banned from running in the 2024 presidential election by the Maduro regime. But by most accounts, she led her party to victory.
When the elections happened in 2024, the Carter Center, which was the only group that was allowed to monitor the elections, says that it had been completely illegitimate.
A majority of Venezuelans voted against this regime. Maduro's regime cracked down on the opposition and continued to remain and seize power.
We see Maria Corina Machado, who is really the heart and soul of the opposition, the head of the opposition, have to go into hiding.
She would go on to win the Nobel Peace Prize and dedicate it to President Trump.
Maduro started the war. President Trump is ending the war.
And while Machado may not be returning to Venezuela to lead for now, neither will Nicolas Maduro.
I think he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail.
I'm just trying to